If you love the sound of the ocean like I do, this is kind of a magical way to wake up in the morning. It's pretty hard to beat. Welcome to part 2 of my Disney cruise vlog. We left New York City 3 days earlier on our way to Puerto Rico, and this was our 4th day on the Disney Dream. We had a pretty relaxing day at sea. We did have pirate night that night in the ship, but otherwise it was just about getting breakfast at Cabanas, having some Mickey waffles, bacon and eggs. I have to say, I love the options here. But otherwise I just spent my day kind of relaxing. It was a great day. The sun was shining. It was beautiful. While my wife went to Disney Trivia, learned how to fold towels because yes, you can learn to make the towel creatures, I took a walk around the ship and marveled at this amazing view. You really get a great perspective of how fast the ship is moving. And I've always loved checking out the Buena Vista Theater, where they show movies during the cruise, and this was the first cruise where I actually ended up seeing something, a premiere even. So stay tuned for that in just a little bit later in the video, but look at this beautiful space. It is such a great theater space to see a movie in. And we had brunch at Powell. The restaurant is a premium experience that costs a little extra and includes as much as you'd like to eat, but portions are generally a little small so you can try a bunch of things. It's a beautiful Italian-inspired restaurant with ocean views and a great menu. You can also book dinner here if you want to try something different later in the day. And there's bread, of course, and appetizers. And for brunch, a mix of breakfast and lunch like eggs Benedict, soup, pizza, and Mickey waffles. One of the highlights is definitely their amazing chicken parmesan. But do try and save some room for dessert because everything is excellent here. And you can pair it with wine or, depending on what you want, anything like coffee or espresso as well. There's lots to do on board a Disney cruise, including sports and special events, character meet and greets, and of course there's trivia like I was saying, and so many more things. But I spent, after brunch, just kind of wandering the ship still. I ended up at Funnel Vision so I could catch a bit of Big Hero 6 because it's so good. And then as it was starting to get dark, I decided to head back up to the front of the ship because it is such a unique place to see sunset, sunrise, just everything.
So it's pirate night. I'm about to get ready, but I had to wander around a little bit because honestly, the evening into night is one of my favorite times of day to wander around the ship. It tends to get quieter. There's not as many sunbathers out, so you can get chairs to sit out, relax. Deck 4 is always a little easier to do that, but up here in the Satellite Falls, it's often quite busy throughout the day. So I want to come and, I guess, hang out, but I have to go get changed for Pirate Night very soon, and then we might meet Jack Sparrow, because why not? And yeah, we have the late dinner, so it does give us more time earlier on, which is when I might come and take a swim, I guess, but we'll see shortly.
I went back to our room to change for Pirate Night, and there was a treat waiting for us, which was awesome. And then it was time for dinner at the Royal Palace. On Pirate Night, there's a special menu, so the Royal Palace special menu had a bunch of great stuff on it, including, of course, there's the drink of the day, which I had to try, and it's always a little bit cheaper than some of the other specialty drinks. And our waiter also surprised us with specialty Indian dishes that the chef shared with us. This is something you can ask ahead about. They actually will share Indian dishes with you if you're interested, and it was delicious. They had amazing dishes for us. We finished dessert in the restaurant, and then we headed off to Pirate Night.
Ahoy there, mateys, and welcome aboard! Where be my pirates? Sparrow and this Jack Sparrow's crew.
Aye!
I believe they should be eclectic.
Oh, Captain Jack! Captain, it's you!
Well, of course it's me. But they be your new crew, Captain, and you're flying off. Oh, I'll be in touch with that. All right. I'll be needing to cleanse them.
To finish off the big Pirate Night show, Disney always has fireworks set to the Pirates music, followed by a dance party on the decks, and it's really amazing. It's a great show and everyone has a blast. And I have to say, you're not going to believe how much people dress up for this night. The costumes are amazing. You definitely have to keep your eye open. You'll see all kinds of amazing pirate costumes.
That's it for Pirate Night. We had another fantastic time. I mean, you can't have a bad time at Pirate Night. We didn't have quite enough rum, maybe.
Good night, Ursula. Our last day at sea was bright and beautiful in the Caribbean. We grabbed breakfast and sat outside cabanas and just started the day a little slowly, had our coffee and everything else. It was a great day. And then I had a special tour ahead, something that you may not have heard before. Disney offers an amazing Art of the Theme tour on the ship. And it's a chance to give you a deep dive into the designs and facts and trivia that you likely don't know, including a tidbit about the restaurant Remy.
When they were building the restaurant, they said like, well, wouldn't it be great if we could have that exact bottle of wine here on our ship? And people could actually dine just like they did in the movie. And so they went looking all over the world for this specific bottle of wine, and they found a couple of them. I think they found 4 total. And they were split between the Disney Fantasy and the Disney Dream. Now, I'm gonna take you inside the wine cabinet for Remy, so you can take a look at this bottle of wine. And if you wanna dine just like they did in the movie, well, it's gonna come with a big price tag. That is the most expensive bottle of wine that we have on the ship, and it is worth $25,000. It's inspiration from a very famous Italian dish. Can you tell me which one? Spaghetti and meatballs. We have the pasta, the meatballs, and the sauce, and then that is an upside down plate of spaghetti and meatballs.
Our guide took us around key areas of the ship and talked about how the designers set a mood and tone and made spaces extraordinary, like how there's a pink elephant in the bubbles of the champagne bar, and other highlights, including in Pub 687.
Now, during the construction of the ship, everything is made out of steel. And obviously there's gonna be scraps, or they're gonna be like steel cutouts. Well, someone decided to put them on a stick and call them decorations. If you look over here over at the bar, those are all actual steel cutouts from the ship. So you can see how thick the steel is of the ship. And then we have an anemone, which is floating on the ocean, which is our chandelier. Now, our chandelier is made out of 6,683 Swarovski crystals.
Another fact you likely don't know is that the chandelier is cleaned about every 2 months or so, and we didn't even know that it gets lowered to the lobby floor, and that very morning we had the tour, they had cleaned it. They just don't tell anyone when it's happening, so that there's not a big fuss. We saw a few characters, and then we checked out the Beauty and the Beast show at the Walt Disney Theater. But there was a special announcement too.
Did you all enjoy your Pirates Night?
Arr!
Well, I'm glad you did, and it was really great seeing you out in your pirate gear, and I had a lot of you coming up and asking me questions, telling me how your cruise has been, and there seems to be some confusion because you keep asking me about like movies on board, and which Marvel movie, and something about Captain Marvel. You know, it'll be great when that hard drive comes on board, and we're going to show it tomorrow night after the last show. So if you want to watch the latest Marvel movie, we do indeed have it on board. We're going to do a showing here the day before the premiere, right in the Walt Disney Theater. So,
So of course I was going to check out the premiere of the Marvels. But for that day, I went on to the Meridian Bar at the back of the ship to check out another one of my favorite spaces. I love the theme and the menu here and the old-timey vibes of the space. It feels like Disney of old for sure. They also have an amazing collection of whiskeys, including Macallan's, but I stuck to a Negroni and it was excellent. If you're a whiskey lover though, definitely consider signing up for tasting. Among places in the ship, you'll get a chance to have a great experience with some of the best whiskeys on the menu. It was a spectacular night on the Caribbean, just a true proper Caribbean sunset. Everywhere you walked across the ship, it glowed. It was amazing. There's nothing quite like a sunset at sea.
It is beautiful, absolutely amazing. Look at this. Like, it doesn't even do justice right now. It is so beautiful. Absolutely amazing. And really, there's not a soul here. Everyone I see is further back, like they're around currents and further back. It's a great place to come if you really want to enjoy a little solitude on your sunset time on the cruise.
It's probably obvious already that I love a good bar, and the Disney Dream has a few great spaces indoors and out, including the Cove Cafe. You can come here for coffee, you can come here for cocktails and tea and snacks, and it is an extra cost for some of the drinks, but most of the snacks are included, and they have a great bar menu, so do consider coming here later on in the evening if you'd like to have a cocktail. They have some great stuff, and you will have some tastings in here if you book a tasting. When the first round of dinner starts at about 6 p.m., it's also perfect time for a quiet swim before the pool closes about 10 o'clock most nights, and I get in the hot tub. But then we're off to go to Animator's Palette, and for one reason or another, it was my first time seeing the full experience here.
Oh, hi, folks. My gosh, thanks for all the great drawings. These are just what I need to whip up a little animation magic. I'll be back later, but right now, we invite you to sit back and relax as the dining room proudly presents your dinner. Be our guest, put our service to the test.
During your meal, you'll get a sheet to draw on and create your character, and then Mickey brings them all to life.
That's a pretty good one.
There's a hidden Mickey on that one. Good night, Mr. Fish, and thank you for the chocolate. We arrived at Tortola in the British Virgin Islands in the early hours of the morning, and we had an excursion planned on our last full day of the cruise. To get off the ship, you meet up in one of the ship's spaces and follow your group off the ship to meet your excursion hosts. I'm not going to assume anything, but for the second time, we were the goofy group. After a bit of a walk off the pier and to get down to where the buses meet everyone, you'll get on board and head to your excursion. So for us, it was a driving excursion around the whole island. We were going to have a swim as part of it, and we learned a lot of history and about the people of Tortola and the British Virgin Islands. And it's a really interesting place. It's beautiful and lush and vibrant. You can choose from a lot of different excursions, including some that are much longer, but ours was about a 3-hour excursion, which seemed about perfect so we could explore the port after and get back early on the ship. Look at this view. It took a while to get up here, but this is amazing. The excursion hosts were professional and so attentive to everything we needed. It was a great experience. And then we had this amazing view of the Disney Dream down the harbor. For our excursion, we stopped at Cane Garden Bay Beach, which included a juice or water and a beach chair. And the ocean was just perfect here. It was warm and the sun came out and there's music and it's lively and fun. And there were lots of bars and places along the way that you can drink if you're interested in that. The sand was silky and it was just a great place to hang out for an hour and have a little break from the ship and enjoy the local ambiance. If you enjoy your excursion, please remember to tip your excursion host, as it is important. Roadtown is the main town on the island, and around the Pier Park you can find shops and stores to pick up souvenirs and goodies to take home. I had to stop and check out a store named Batella. It's a spirit and liqueur shop that has an amazing range of bottles and cocktails and options. And nearby you can also find other shops that have rum and wine and food and cocktails. You can always head back to the ship at any time you want to get back on board. Just make sure for sure that you get back on board when they tell you you have to be there, or you may miss your ship. Today we had a couple of surprises waiting for us. The cake, I'm gonna say it's cake, maybe it's a tree, has decorations that we got from the exchanges from the door extenders, the fish extenders, and then beautiful treats waiting for us. We had a great little excursion in Tortola. It was definitely brief, but we wanted to keep it short so we had a chance to explore around the port and also get back in time to have lunch here and go do a few other things around the boat since today is the last day. That's just about it. So we just left Tortola and we are now on our way to San Juan to stop at Puerto Rico for our last stop. So we disembark tomorrow morning and that'll be the end of it. But we have a few cool things left tonight. I'm kind of excited about a couple things, and then we have dinner, of course. And yeah, there's a little bit left. We'll enjoy every last second if we can. I had to go back to Pub 687 for a drink again, since it was happy hour and it was a great deal. They bring you snacks and there's TVs showing sports, and my beer was just $3.50 for Magical Hour. I also love the highlights all around that show when the ship was built. I love the lights in the water. It was a warm, beautiful Caribbean night, so I also took a chance to run to Aqueduct when it was quiet so I could get a couple slides in before the final festivities on our cruise. If you have the chance, I do recommend wandering the ship at night, especially to catch a movie on Funnel Vision. But you can also go and play mini putt, which is actually open, as far as I understand it, just about any time you want to go by. So you could go late at night and go play mini putt, It's bright still here, there's lots of lights, and it is a fun little course. It's much better than coming in the middle of the day when the sun is full on hot on you or it's too windy, so you can consider coming at night. In the lobby, people were hanging out to say goodbye to the characters since this was the final chance to see them, and I got ready for the special premiere showing of The Marvels. This was the night before the film opened in theaters, and it was so much fun seeing the film with a room full of fans. A bunch of us got there early and hung out just in case, so we had a good seat, but it filled up and the fans were amazing. After the movie, I decided I had to take a walk to see everything. It was so quiet, and most people were already in bed since it was 1 a.m. and there's really no experience like walking the ship late at night or early in the morning when it's this quiet. It's kind of the perfect way to say goodbye to the ship before we left the next morning, and I just love the glow of some of these spaces with the wood and the lights. It's really pretty magical, and I do highly recommend it if you have a chance. And yes, I already can't wait to get back on another Disney cruise. I heart you too, Disney chocolates. So that's it for our Disney cruise portion of our trip. We've had an amazing trip. Starting in New York, we had a day there, and then coming all the way down here. Puerto Rico looks beautiful. I can't wait to get into the actual city. We're going to Old Town, Old City. The other thing is, the movie last night was fantastic. It was so cool getting a chance to see Captain Marvel and the Marvels work their magic on screen. It was a great film, and it was great seeing it with an audience of very appreciative fans, because everyone who was there, the moment the film started, it was quiet and everyone was very invested. It was a great movie. All right, so off we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to share. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving a like or subscribing, as that would be amazing and helps me tremendously. Stay tuned for my next video exploring Old San Juan after our cruise with some of the sights and culture in this beautiful, beautiful island. I absolutely loved it, and I'll show you exactly why next time, but these are a few highlights from what makes this space and place so tremendously enjoyable and culturally enriching and wonderful. It is a great place to visit. Bye for now, Disney Dream.